must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us again. This is the People's Court. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and on the show this morning, we're going to look at the UK partnership to Kenya and how that will boost the Big Four agenda projects, or the legacy projects of President Uhuru Kenyatta. As we know, President Uhuru Kenyatta is in the UK right now, and the Standard business section did that story on page 27. So I'll just read a bit of it and then we'll start our conversation. President Uhuru Kenyatta's visit to the United Kingdom has come with a 20 billion Kenya shillings bag of goodies to support the country's Big Four agenda. On this, 9 billion will fund the government's 500,000 affordable housing plan. Other Big Four plans are manufacturing, universal healthcare, and food security. 9 billion Kenya shillings comprises 5.2 billion Kenya shillings UK aid support. The rest, 3.5 billion Kenya shillings to be matched by private investment, will fund up to 10,000 homes using green technology. United Kingdom Climate Investment, UKCI, and FSD have committed to support the project. So that's a good thing, I guess. So joining me to advance this conversation is Douglas Kirimi from Meru County. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
Very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, to our crew at our headquarters, and also to my friend Oresisana Talwish and our friends across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where they are watching our broadcast from, Miriam. Thank you for having me on the show, Miriam.
All right, nice to have you. And Samuel Tawish, good morning.
Good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, my comrade Douglas Bundi Kirimi, and of course, the viewers who are watching this program in Africa and across the world. It's my pleasure to be part of this program. Good morning, Miriam.
All right, good morning. So, of course, we'll just start from that part of the item from the Standard newspaper, where the rest, 3.5 billion, be matched by a private investment. That is the money, part of the money that Kenya is receiving from the UK, and that money will fund up to 10,000 homes using green technology. 10,000 homes in urban centers and homes that are affordable. What perhaps will that mean to a city like Nairobi? Samuel Tawish.
Very well. Thank you so much, Miriam, for that question. And I think, first of all, we need to laud President Uhuru Kenyatta for his efforts and, of course, commitment to make sure that he lives up to the pledge and promise he made to Kenyans, especially during his second term in office. When he was sworn into office for a second term, President Uhuru Kenyatta did outline the four-pillar agenda that, of course, you have mentioned about affordable housing, manufacturing, universal healthcare, and others, Miriam, and agriculture, I believe. So, Miriam, largely, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta has been very keen to ensure that all of these projects really completed, or actually they come into fruition at least before his term comes to an end, or even if there will be any part of it that would have been left, it should be negligible, to the extent that even the administration that will be taking over from him will be in a position to complete. So what are we trying to say essentially? President Uhuru Kenyatta's trip to the United Kingdom has not just come as an ordinary trip. It is a trip that is geared towards making sure that it taps the most of business moguls. It taps the most of what the international community really has to offer in as far as assisting his Big Four agenda really to succeed in the country. Because again, this is part and parcel of President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, and he will not wish that in as much as he does every other thing, that part of his legacy really can go down the drain or is not going to be achieved. So the 20 billion Kenya shillings you've talked about, Miriam, that is going to go into these aspects of the Big Four agenda, I think it's a welcome move, and Kenyans are very happy about it. We're going to see, of course, increased construction of affordable housing, so that most of the Kenyans who cannot afford the expensive houses, maybe who cannot live in leafy suburbs and posh places, can be in a position to acquire the best of accommodation or housing, at least in an affordable price, Miriam. And the same, I think, extends to the manufacturing industry. The same, of course, extends to the universal healthcare. These are very critical pillars that any nation, any serious, of course, leader will always consider. So in itself, Miriam, I think is a welcome move, and we just wait to see how the same is going to be implemented, because President Uhuru Kenyatta goes out and hunts and brings these goodies, but again, sometimes it is those who go out to implement who, by the end of the day, swindle this money and they don't go into the intended purpose. So I will suppose that we want to see strictness, we want to see transparency in as far as how these monies are going to be utilized, so that there's not going to be any form of misappropriation or misallocation of these funds. They should actually go to the intended purpose. I submit, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. And I think, who was I speaking to earlier on who shared the same sentiments with what you just said there, Samuel Tawish, that this money or this help that Kenya is receiving, will go to the intended purposes. In the past, you've seen there's been a bit of corruption and things like that. Now, the 10,000 homes will be put up using modern technologies, according to a statement from UKCI, with the units expected to go for 4.5 million Kenya shillings, with a monthly rental income between 15,000 and 50,000. Now, the need for affordable housing in Kenya is greater than ever, with urban populations increasing by more than 4% in the last 5 years. Our investment in meeting this need will benefit thousands of Kenyans currently without affordable housing. That is according to the Managing Director of UKCI, Richard Abel, and of course UK High Commissioner to Kenya, Jen Marriott, said the Kenya-UK partnership to put up the 10,000 green homes will not only help in closing the housing gap, but also provide new green jobs that will last. Douglas, how will this help in addressing the issue of the congested areas we see in our urban centers, especially in a place like Nairobi, and how will this help in meeting a growing demand of affordable houses? Because we see the real estate business is booming right now, but the houses are, far end, a lot of Kenyans cannot really afford. So what will this mean to a normal Kenyan? Douglas?
Thank you, Mimi. Something that I'm very excited about. It also means that if over 10,000 houses are added to our cities and also to our towns, it means, Miriam, we are going to decongest the city, where people are having problems in putting up these houses and also putting up with the rent, with the rent, the exorbitant rents that have been imposed by landlords across the country. Kenyans cannot afford a good house with running water and all that. But at the end of the day, if these houses are, it means that there is a set of population getting a decent house at an affordable price that is going to be accommodated in these new houses. 10,000 is no mean feat, Miriam, and congratulate the President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for the efforts that he is making to be able to get Kenyans decent houses at a decent prices. Also, Miriam, these greenhouses, the model that is going to be utilized for these houses to come up is the green housing model, which means that, Miriam, apart from getting a cheaper house, you're going to generate your own electricity. You're going to be able to cut your bills maybe by 100%, because if it is a greenhouse, it is a greenhouse model, Miriam. It means that it is going to generate its own heat through solar, meaning that we are going to do away with a lot of problems that we have had before in this country of electricity, and also many people complaining, especially those people that are working from home, like myself, are saying that electricity, Kenya Power is also applying a lot of monopoly in terms of what is happening across the country. Because what Kenya Power has done, it has a monopoly over electricity in this country. But if I acquire a greenhouse, it means, Miriam, 24 hours, 365 days a year, I am going to have an opportunity to live in a house where I'm not going to pay any bill, and the money that I've been using to pay Kenya Power, which are exorbitant prices, Miriam. We are one of those countries in the world that pay one of the highest electricity bills. It means that money can be used into a different issue. That money can be utilized in a different way. It can be used to pay school fees for other children, and also it can be used to be able to take care of other things, especially in a normal Kenyan household, Miriam. Because if these houses are going to be a green model, a green housing model, it means that also for us to be able to curb the issue of corruption at Kenya Power, we are going to have a Kenya Power that is not holding Kenyans at ransom in terms of electricity bills, in terms of inflated prices for selling power to the people of Kenya, and especially the cartels at Kenya Power. I think now this is also a smart way of dealing with the corruption, Miriam. I see it from a perspective where we are dealing with the corruption and we are dealing with it decisively in terms of these bills. If 10,000 homes are going to come up and Kenya Power is not going to connect them into the national grid, it means that corruption at Kenya Power is going to come down, maybe at 40 or 30%, Miriam. Thank you. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, the Standard has given us a rundown of the Kenya-UK trade. Let me just go through it quickly. It's a very short item here. 44.6 billion Kenya shillings, that is the total value of exports to the UK from Kenya in 2020. 36.9 billion Kenya shillings, that is the total value of imports to Kenya from UK in 2020. All right, the first one is the exports to the UK, and then this other one, the 36.9, is the imports to Kenya. Now, 7.8%, that is UK, accounted for 7.8% of Kenya's total exports in 2020, making it the country's third largest market in 2020. 0.06%, Kenya accounted for that amount of total exports from UK between 2011 and 2020, and 385 billion Kenya shillings. That is the value of the UK's foreign investment in Kenya, making it one of the largest foreign investors in the country. And what Kenya bought from the UK in 2020, top 5 products. Number 1 is the motor vehicles at 26.6%. And then mechanical machinery at 12.6%, and electrical equipment 9.5%, pharmaceutical 6.5%, and paperboard and articles at 5.8%. So that is the top 5 things Kenya bought from the UK into the country last year. And what the top 5 of what Kenya sold to the UK in 2020, 6.6% legumes, 3.6% coffee, 16% cut flowers, 24% vegetables, and then 38% tea. What do you make of this? The trading there, the items that are being traded and the products, Samuel Tawish?
Thank you, Miriam. I think there are 2 aspects that stand out. One is that Kenya and UK's relationship is more of a symbiotic one which each of us really depends on one another for either this product or that product. Like you've highlighted over there, Miriam, of course, you've talked about the imports from UK to Kenya. You've talked about the exports from Kenya to UK, which is a good thing. But largely, when you try to look into it broadly, I think also another aspect comes out that Kenya is banking more on the agriculture sector. And I think if that is then the case, government has to see how we can have an increased exportation of agricultural products from Kenya to the UK. And how can they do it? By actually supporting the farmers back at home, back at the grassroots, by ensuring that the farm inputs are affordable, they are cheap, and also making the market, opening up for markets, not only locally, but of course also in abroad, like you've cited, of course, the case of UK. I mean, Kenya then has to continually negotiate with UK and other international, other foreign countries to see into it how Kenyan products really cannot be of waste. The surplus in Kenya cannot be of waste, that we can have more of these products really going out, because again, Kenya will be earning in form of foreign exchange. It will be creating jobs back at home, because when more people are engaged in agriculture itself is an employment sector in itself, Miriam. So I think that is what I learned out of that kind of relationship or engagement between UK and Kenya. But again, because when you look at what we import from the UK, it does tell us that maybe we still have a long way to go. Most of these technical aspects, the machinery and the motor vehicles and all those kinds of things, supposedly looks like Kenya is not yet that particular point to be able to manufacture this on its own. But again, what is the relationship for? If UK can manufacture this for us, and they cannot equally produce, say, coffee, they can't produce, say, tea, or they cannot produce even avocado or watermelon, why don't we then concentrate and make sure that we put more resources and empower our farmers so that we can have more of this produce actually being produced in the country and by extension being exported out. In itself, it will be earning foreign earning for the people of Kenya, for the government of Kenya, but also making sure that there's money in the pockets of the people. So I think that is what I learned out of this engagement, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Very well said. Chairman Karanja, good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Well, as we wait for Karanja there, Douglas Kirini.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I guess you did not hear me reading the trade, the UK-Kenya trade by the numbers there. I started by what Kenya bought from the UK in 2020 and top 5 projects, what Kenya brought in from the UK. The first one is motor vehicles at 26.4%, mechanical machinery at 12.6%, electrical equipment at 9.5%, pharmaceutical 6.5%, and paperboard and articles 5.8%. And then the top 5 products that Kenya sold to the UK the year 2020, 6.6% legumes, 3.6% coffee, 38% tea, 24% vegetables, and 16% cut flowers. What does those statistics? How do you understand them?
Thank you very much, Miriam. This points out clearly that the bilateral trade between Kenya and the UK is a very great one, and all the two countries benefits mutually from that kind of a relationship, because from the statistic that you have just laid down, it's clear that we have a good market when it comes to the export of coffee, tea, and legumes to the people of UK. Therefore, this creates employment to our farmers. This creates employment to the people who do the trade of buying these products from the farmers and selling to the UK government. Therefore, this is a job creation opportunity, and also it's a source of income, because at the end of the day, as a country, we benefit by getting the foreign exchange in our system. Therefore, this boosts our economy. This ensures that we have to roll our economy. We have roads. We have a progressive country because of this kind of partnership. Therefore, in future, I hope we can continue getting more of this, and to ensure that as a country, we create a conducive environment to attract visitors, to attract investors who will come and pump more money into our system. To that extent, Miriam, that will be achieved by ensuring that we are politically stable and we have a social cohesive country which will be attractive to these foreign traders. Thank you.
Right. And Douglas, the statistics. What could this mean, for the Kenyan economy, if you were to look at that and plan for the future? All right, Douglas is
Miriam, I haven't heard your question well.
Okay, now we all have to be present now, because I can't keep repeating. I'm saying you
problems
with the connection. I understand very well. So the statistics that I just read, there are the numbers and how Kenya is trading with the UK. Obviously, Kenya's strength is in agriculture, and we know food security is one of the key pillars of President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy Big Four agenda. But we see that is what we take to the UK, judging from these statistics here. So how can we capitalize on that as a country to ensure that we maximize on what Kenya can get out of this?
Thank you, Miriam. One way that we can be able to capitalize on that is that to make sure that we increase our production capacity. I think Oresi Senator Wish raised that issue. We can increase our production capacity so that we can be able to export more and more to the UK, because UK is now an open market for us. We can be able to capitalize on that, because even their buying prices of our products, Miriam, is a premium price, and also we can be able to let our farmers enjoy subsidized
we're having a problem.
Give our farmers and all that fertilizer.
We had a bit of a hitch there with your network. All right, go ahead.
Can you hear me, Miriam?
Yes, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Our farmers can be able to enjoy subsidies from government. Government should be able to get into the agricultural sector with a renewed vigor, because our farmers are being exploited by a private sector that can be able to provide these fertilizers and tools, farm equipment that can be used in the farms to be able to utilize our arable land, so that we can be able to farm more and increase our export capacity to the UK. Because at the end of the day, Miriam, even if we have a market and our farmers don't have capacity to be able to produce more, our farms are not cultivated, farm equipment subsidies are not available to the farmers, we cannot be able to export. Even if the demand for our products increases, even if demand for our agricultural products increases in the UK, we cannot be able to fill in the demand. The demand for our products in the UK should be also upped by the supply that we can be able to take to the UK. We can have a huge demand for our products, but we don't have enough to be able to cover the gap for the supplies. Our agriculture minister, the government of Kenya, should work in tandem with our farmers and make sure that subsidies reach the farmers. In terms of whatever capacity building our farmers should be able to be taught, trainings should be available to our farmers, subsidies for the agricultural equipment, and also tools that they need to be able to they need to be able to get for them to be able to produce more. If we can be able to produce more, we can be able to cover even the European market after we have covered the UK market, Miriam. Because at the end of the day, what we need is to increase the capacity of our farms, and also for our farmers, and also for government to be able to utilize projects like the Garana Kuraru project, which has actually invited investors in Kenya, so that they can invest in the Garana Kuraru government project, so that we can be able to increase our production capacity as a country and increase our own exports to the outside world. I submit, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Very well said there, Douglas Kirimi. Thank you. Now, the £132 million announcement on Tuesday is as follows. Yesterday, after the start of the 3-day visit to the UK to co-host the Global Education Summit with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab announced strengthened links between the City of London and Nairobi, and welcome new investment package. So let me just read out some of this investment package and what they look like in terms of the monies and what they intend to do. A new 58 million pounds fund anchored by 35 million pounds of UK government investment, which will finance the construction of the 10,000 green affordable homes in Kenya. I think we've talked about that. 28 million pounds of private investment in Kenya manufacturing through the UK's Manufacturing African Initiative, and then 18 million pounds of UK grant funding for a digital customs system to help smooth Kenya's international trade, including with the UK, and allow farms to take greater advantage of the UK-Kenya trade deal ratified at the start of 2021, and 4.5 million pounds investment by UK company ARC Ride to expand their fleet of electric vehicles here in the country, and 3.3 million pounds investment from UK-backed Infraco Africa to finance expansion of off-grid solar in Western Kenya, providing 6,000 Kenyan homes with access to clean energy, and 3.7 million pound support from the UK government to back Kenya's green transition, including projects supporting renewable energy, clean cooling and forest restoration, including Kaptagat Forest, a project spearheaded by Kenyan marathon legend Eliud Kipchoge, and £1 million of UK aid funding for technical support to structure Kenyan infrastructure projects so they are able to attract private investment, and 0.9 million pounds investment from Infraco Africa, backed by the UK government, in Nopia Ride, an electric taxi service, and 0.5 million pounds of UK funding for policy advice on how to support the development of green manufacturing in Kenya, including of electric vehicles. And Mayflower Gold, a Kenyan mining company that employs 400 people, will float 14 million pounds of shares on the London and Nairobi stock exchanges. And the UK has supported the setup, business case development and investor proposition of the Nairobi International Finance Centre through financial sector deepening. So what has caught a bit of my attention here is the insistence on green renewable energy and the amount of money and technical support that the UK is willing to offer to Kenya to help in achieving some of this. I don't know if we are there yet as a country, Dave and Karanja.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. We are not yet there because in this life, it's a continuous process. We keep on progressing from one step to another. But Miriam, it would be a very major milestone in terms of energy if we adopt the green energy and the clean and safe energy to conserve our environment. And that will go a bigger way to ensure we also protect our natural resources. And to that extent, that is the forest, because we end up having a number of Kenyans depending on firewood, charcoal, and so on. But if we can revive and come with this clean energy, even in terms of lightening, then we can have a very major stone. I understand the Britain government, in collaboration with the Kenyan government, they have put up solar systems and these energy systems across the country, especially when you go to Turkana. They have a very big solar energy plant that ensures that the students in those areas, they can tap that energy into their system. And these are very good because these are renewable and we will not have to keep using the old ways. And Miriam, the best thing with this energy, if it is well organized, it is well managed, Miriam, it can go to a larger extent of ensuring that we protect our natural resources. This is not like the one that we get from the KenGen, because at the end of the day, it is prone to some kind of failures. Because if we can destroy our forest, Miriam, let's be assured in the next 20 years, we might not be having electricity that we have, because it all comes from the water that generates this electricity. Therefore, there's a reason and a big reason. And I know the Britain and Kenya government and ensuring that we have the right forest cover in our country, so that, Miriam, we can be able to have the reliable rainfall, we can be able to have natural resources where we can have these waters and clean energy and so on. Therefore, on that issue, and I'm very passionate when the government is ensuring that those people who have encroached water catchment areas are replaced to save our presence, to avoid interfering with our natural resources, to avoid interfering with these water catchment areas. Because, Miriam, when they interfere with this, Miriam, there's a large and a bigger a pandemic that awaits us in a future, and it's more of a catastrophe. Because with this, Miriam, we'll not be able to depend on these natural resources. We'll not be able to have the wildlife that we have as a country that brings a lot of foreign exchange into our system. Therefore, on this issue of clean energy and the issue of environmental conservation, Miriam, these are major areas of collaboration that the Kenyan government and the UK governments need to work on to ensure that we have the right mindset, we have the right advocacy, so that we can have people who will conserve and safeguard their environment. I submit.
Okay, thank you. Electric taxi service. How do you see that working in the Nairobi roads? Samuel Tawish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miriam, for that question. And I think I join my my other colleague, that is, of course, Javan Karanja, in echoing exactly what he has said in as far as environmental conservation is concerned. This has been one of the key areas that, of course, Kenya and the rest of the world has been focusing on, and what efforts probably we can put forth to ensure that our environment is friendly, our environment is safeguarded, in as far as, of course, the climatic changes are also concerned. Remember, there's been a lot of climate upheavals to a point that, I mean, world over, there are a lot of initiatives that have been put to make sure how we can get back into the right track. And more so is not about thinking about the current generation only, Miriam, but also what is it that we are going to bequeath to our future generation, because after all, this world will not be here for eternity. We will have to pave way for the next generation. And therefore, are we going to pave way for the next generation in a world or in an environment that is unsafe, an environment that is unfriendly? That is why you see there's so much focus on green energy, Miriam, in itself. One, because the green energy itself is environmentally friendly. Second, also, I think, is on the aspect of cost effectiveness, because again, when you put up the green energy alongside, of course, these affordable housings, then it tells you essentially, Miriam, that there will not be big need for us really to connect, say, direct electricity to these homes or to these houses. That we can rely on the green energy to be able to generate, say, power that people can use in these homes, and also just for production and manufacturing, we still can utilize this green energy. Another aspect, Miriam, is that this is something that is renewable, just like you've read it out there. It's renewable. It's something that you will not need really to be paying any token or to be paying any cent to continually use it. You only but have to depend, or it's a God-given, if I should put it that way, that once you put up this infrastructure, then you are rest assured, say for 100 years or so, you'll be able to utilize this, of course, green energy. So in itself is a good move. And I think this is what Kenya should really tap into. In fact, you remember the Kenya Power some time back even felt a very big threat that they could be removed from the market by, of course, the emerging trend where most people are now appreciating or opting rather the green energy over the ordinary electricity that we are used to. For the simple reason, it's because of the power outages that are often characterizes the electricity, the normal electricity, and also another thing is about the cost of purchasing tokens, say for example, Miriam. So I will suppose that Kenyans are going to embrace this idea because in itself is safer to use, it is eco-friendly, and I think this is where Kenyans are really going to take as a new pattern in as far as using energy is concerned. Miriam, I submit.
All right, thank you so much. So of course, in line with the green energy, 3.3 million UK pounds investment from UK-backed Infracore Africa to finance expansion of off-grid solar in Western Kenya, providing 6,000 Kenyan homes with access to clean energy. Douglas, perhaps what I'd like to understand, if at all, is we know, in sub-Saharan Africa, we enjoy sunlight or sunshine for a good part of the year, and in a place like northeastern part of the country, or even the coastal part of the country, there's heat there, there's solar nearly throughout, the year. And yet tapping into the solar energy is not something that we have been keen to do as a country, to add to what, the electricity that we have in terms of, energy that we supply to our people. And now the US is coming, the UK is coming in, and they'll be putting the off-grid solar in the western part of Kenya. Is it about time we started looking at alternative, energy, and the government started paying good attention to such initiatives to address the issue of energy?
Thank you, Miriam. For solar energy in our country is something that is wrong overdue, because, Miriam, with the solar, you can generate your own solar without having to disrupt the national grid, when especially the other power that is generated by Kenya Power, by KenGen, then sold to Kenya Power and other private players in the sector. When you look at solar power, Miriam, it is a guarantee that even when it is not conveniently to do so, you always have power. School-going children, especially in areas where we have the rural electrification projects, I think it has covered almost every school in this country. And those schools that have not been covered by the national grid, they have been supplemented by the solar power across the country. And it's about time we rethink our national grid arrangement, especially for power, because Miriam, for solar, it is clean and also it is easily affordable. We cannot be able to bail people that we have already had connected to the solar power, because at the end of the day, Miriam, they only need the sun to be able to generate this power. And if government can be able to invest in making sure that people that have already been connected to the solar power are no longer charged, the government cannot, because as government is a service and an industry to the people of Kenya, cannot be able to make profit. We can be able to connect as many homes, as many schools as we can, institutions, government institutions, and every other place in this country. We utilize power, solar power, and make sure, Miriam, we are able to take off the burden of paying electricity bills to the people of Kenya. Because, Miriam, even the government itself that owns that parastatal, the Kenya Power and Lightning Company, that parastatal makes money for the bosses only. It is not making profit for the people of Kenya. They continue posting roses year in and year out. I think it's about time, Miriam, that the government of Kenya give so much attention to the solar power across the nation, so that the people of Kenya can enjoy uninterrupted power, and the power that is cheap. Because, Miriam, if schools can be able to adopt this without being built every month, without many homes being built every month, these homes can be able to turn that power, they can be able to use that power to open small businesses, and those businesses can in turn provide for their families and also provide school fees for their school-going children. We are going to alleviate poverty if you trace the God-given power that is solar power in this country, Miriam. And it is about time for the government of Kenya looks into investing in solar and handing over that power to the poor people, so that the poor people can use that power to turn their lives on, and also continue making sure that they provide for themselves, provide for the communities where they come from, and contributing to the national development of their nation, Miriam. Because we all have something that we can be able to do. If a small business is open for someone in a rural, far-flung place in this country, they can be able to charge mobile phones, they can be able to open barber shops, they can be able to open small salons for women, and they can be able to open small markets that people can be able to come together and do business in their own country and contribute to the national development of their country. And also that, Miriam, helps this country curb the national security threat to our own country. Because when we can be able to minimize the many small crimes that are committed when people do not come in contact with opportunities, Miriam, we are also bringing crimes down in this country. And also we continue making Kenya an investment destination. We are making Kenya an investment destination for people that can come to those villages and invest in those villages. We do not want people in Nairobi. We want people to come to Kiago Ward. We want people to go to other places in this country and be assured they can be able to come into contact or access to power, and also access to security. Because access to power, Miriam, means access to security. And access to security in this country means more investments for our people and our regions and our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi. And finally, as we conclude the show, we know the UK officially exited the European Union. So right now it is seeking partners and, collaborations across the world. It's trying to, create new relationships, trade, relationships and all that as a country, and bilateral trades and all that. In line with perhaps the statistics that I read there earlier on the UK-Kenya trade, how can Kenya maximize on what is already in existence, and two, perhaps explore opportunities that, with this new opportunity that we do have to trading with the UK on a one-on-one, Samuel Sawish?
Thank you, Miriam. One, I suppose, it's about the government of the day. And President Uhuru Kenyatta, through his administration, has already laid out policies that are conducive enough for this engagement. Because again, if through the administration we will not have better relationship between, say, Kenya and UK, then it would have been difficult for ordinary Kenyans or Kenya as a country really to engage in as far as these partnerships are concerned. But I think the president has already set the stage. It's now up to Kenyans really to roll up their sleeves and do the best they can so that we can tap into this potential, into this, of course, market, the open market. In as far as our produce is concerned in the country, we now need to go back to the drawing board and think, how can we increase, of course, production? Like we had cited earlier, Miriam, I think the biggest challenge, for example, because when you look into almost every other thing that we export to UK, it's mostly agricultural products. So if that is where our potential lies, or if that is what we can actually be able to produce in big quantities and in good quality, then why can't we put more effort and energy and concentration into that particular sector? I challenge the government, of course, to make sure that we have that they, for example, subsidize prices of farm inputs, including fertilizers, other farm equipments, including, of course, seeds. And make it very easy, of course, for the people of Kenya really to do this farming. Because again, there's one thing to get market, but there's another thing to produce these products. If it is going to become almost difficult or almost expensive to produce these products just for the sake of exporting, then there will be no need, because we want to see foreign exchange. For the government, we also want to see actually the ordinary farmers back at home really benefit out of these ventures. So we need to tap into this potential. It does tell that Africa still has that resourcefulness. It has the best of course, climate. It has the best of land, arable and fertile for that matter. We can as well do irrigation, if not rain-fed agriculture, to see into it how we can really maximize on this potential that is African continent, and in particular in Kenya, so that we can uplift our economy and uplift the livelihoods of our people. Miriam, for now, I submit.
Thank you. Stephen Karanja, how can we take advantage of this new opportunity as a country trading with the UK?
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. And I can see a lot of great opportunities on the future because of this new partnership between Kenya and the UK. And, for a quite period of time, the two countries have maintained that kind of cordial trade bilateral for a quite period of time. But Miriam, what we can do as a country, and as Tawish was saying, is to ensure, because this country is known for its agricultural potential, let's ensure that we maximize on the production of these marketable goods to the UK, like the vegetables, like the peas that they consume in a very big way, so that they can have a market, really, a steady market in our country, rather than keep moving from one country to another, sourcing for these essential commodities that they consume in their countries in a very big way. And number two is to ensure that we empower our farmers so that they can meet the market demands, so that they can these goods in a timely manner, and do the best of agriculture, and ensuring that we train them. Because Miriam, we have seen in the ground, when you go around, you'll hear farmers complain that they took their produce to the store where they usually take for export, but their produce were not accepted, or they were not taken to UK for sale, because they did meet the standards. They overused the herbicides, the pesticides, and so on. Therefore, we need also to train our farmers on how they can do agriculture without really overdoing some of the chemicals that they use, because that is a very key area that the UK government is looking onto, to ensure that the product they take to their people is safe for their health and is safe for everyone in that matter. Therefore, on that, the Kenyan government should look more on that. Also on the issue of ensuring that we train our farmers on the ways to manage their soil, because there are some goods, Miriam, because of the high level of soil acidities and so on, they end up not having the right product. They end up having a product that is not market friendly. Therefore, agricultural extension services, Miriam, they should be revamped. They should be brought back to our people because our people are willing to do these kind of things. And also, we should also ensure that our small-scale traders and enterprises really get their goods in UK or so that we can have that mutual of exchange, because their goods are of good quality, especially when it comes to the issue of those people who sell the electronics and so on, and the other materials and motor vehicle assemblies and so on, the spare parts. We can now have a kind of a relationship where we might be getting from them and they also source our products from home. I think that will go a bigger way to ensure that we benefit as a two countries. And finally, the most important thing as a country to ensure that we attract investors and other key players in the area of trade and cooperation is to ensure that our country is peaceful, our country is free from political instability, and our country have the right people at the leadership who can be able to lobby and to advocate for more investors to come to our country. To me, I submit. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. A lot of points that you brought up there, Jevan Karanja. And every time I see visiting heads of state coming to the country, their entourage usually includes business people from their countries trying to look for partnership in here. I don't know if that is the same case. I don't know if there are any business, moguls that accompanied President Uhuru Kenyatta going to the UK. But I think that will be a subject for another day. But I know a good number of them are hosting Raila yesterday in Mount Kenya. Tutaongelea kesho. Douglas Kirimi, finish for us.
Miriam, it's a relief for our farmers, and also it shows the interest and also the interest and the potential that the UK alone sees in the people of Kenya and their resilience, even in the middle of coronavirus. They have invested, they have pledged to invest a lot of money in our economy, in our Big Four agenda of the President of the Republic of Kenya, housing, agricultural produce to the UK. Miriam, I made a claim that people said it was a world claim. I said that the Queen of England actually takes breakfast of sweet potatoes farmed here, right here in Kenya, I think in Siaya, in Siaya County. And it is true that the people of Kenya farm the best farm produce and export it to the UK. And it shows a lot of potential for the people of Kenya. Now it's up to the government through the Ministry of Agriculture, subsidize farm inputs to the people of Kenya, give them a conducive environment, make sure that middlemen are rooted out, and also cartels are taken care of by the government of the Republic of Kenya. And when we export to the UK, the produce and the proceeds of our farm produce gets to the right owners, and make sure that every cartel that stands on the way of the people of Kenya are taken out, especially the way the government has done with the tea reforms, coffee reforms. Now they should go to the sweet potatoes. They should go to Irish potatoes. They should go to every crop that the people of Kenya can farm, because Kenya is an agricultural country, and we are going to be able to take care of our own economy, build back together, build through agriculture, build through tourism, domestic and also international tourism, foreign tourism, and then bring back the dollar to the people of Kenya, and make sure that the people of Kenya can be able to take care of their families, especially during these hard times. Many farmers continue languishing in poverty. Their school-going children can no longer go to school, Miriam, because at the end of the day, cartels and middlemen have taken them hostage in this country. Farms no longer produce what they used to produce before. The proceeds from these farmers, Miriam, cannot take care of a basic home. But now, through these interventions, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, should make sure that even as he goes out there and brings investment to our country, farmers are protected from these cartels who have enriched themselves over the farmer in Kenya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for beautiful ending it for us. I think this is a conversation that we will continue to have. A couple of issues that have come up, and I think this is something that we will look into talking about much further. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi. Thank you, Jevan Karanja and Samuel Tawish. This has been the People's Court, and we were looking at the UK partnership boost for Big Four agenda projects. As I told you there earlier, President Uhuru Kenyatta is in the UK right now. now for a 3-day visit and to co-host the Global Education Summit with Prime Minister Boris Johnson and President Uhuru Kenyatta and Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab announced strengthened links between the City of London and Nairobi and a new investment package, and we were just looking at some of that. And I think that Education Summit is ongoing right now. I was just checking it on my phone as we were continuing. So if you want to join, I think you can do that online, I suppose. I don't know, but it is ongoing right now. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.